The Half-Life series in many ways explores how profound events are often born from influencing people in small ways. While this often relates to mysterious cosmic forces like the G-Man, even something like everyday employee assignments can lead to unimaginable repercussions. The Black Mesa incident in that sense played out the way it did partially due to the company's mysterious human resources manager.
A reminder that the Black Mesa Hazard Course Decathlon will commence this evening at 1900 hours in the Level 3 facility. The semifinals for high security personnel will be announced in a separate secure broadcast transmission. Remember, more lives than yours may depend on your fitness. Have a friend or relative who would make a valuable addition to the Black Mesa team? Immediate openings are available in the areas of materials handling and low clearance security. Please contact Black Mesa personnel for further information. If you have an associate with a background in the areas of theoretical physics, biotechnology, or other high-tech disciplines, please contact our civilian recruiting team. The Black Mesa facility is an equal opportunity employer.
The Black Mesa Research Facility was a fictional scientific research complex in New Mexico. It employed some of the greatest minds in the world at the time who led scientific teams that explored a vast range of research endeavors. That included research into radiation, rocketry, theoretical physics, lasers, experimental propulsion, hydraulics, robotics, hydroelectricity, genetic zoology, applied mathematics, and teleportation. These scientists were supported by a trained security force, maintenance personnel, and other support staff. With science team members often living on site, there was no shortage of non-scientific occupations offered by the company. The Office of the Administrator was responsible for managing these untold scores of employees and contractors through its Support Personnel Division and Civilian Recruitment Division. Taking the lead on these efforts was a Human Resources Manager known only by their initials LM. By merely doing his job to direct employees, he ensured the right people were in the right place during a cataclysmic quantum event that would change the course of humanity. As it would become known, the Black Mesa incident occurred following a failed experiment to analyze the material structure of a crystal found on the dimensional border world Zen. The anti-mass spectrometer used in the experiment caused the crystal to vibrate at a resonance frequency strong enough to merge our reality with the border dimension. This resulted in severe damage to the facility, random energy discharges, and unearthly life forms being teleported in. LM issued at least 3 letters to facility personnel who would eventually play critical roles in the disaster. Dr. Gordon Freeman was contacted by him in a letter May 5th as a follow-up to a previous phone call in which he accepted an employment offer to be a research associate at Black Mesa. Interestingly enough, this would seem to indicate Freeman can speak. Freeman at the time was working at the Institute for Experimental Physics in Innsbruck, Austria. There he observed a series of teleportation experiments but became disappointed with the slow pace of research in academia. Because of that, he began seeking out employment outside the education sector. Freeman was offered the job as a research associate thanks to a recommendation from his old mentor, Dr. Isaac Kleiner, from his time studying theoretical physics, quantum mechanics, and relativity at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Kleiner had since moved on from his teaching position to lead a research project at Black Mesa within the Anomalous Materials Laboratory in the Sector C test labs. Freeman would end up playing a critical role in the disaster. He was not only directly involved with the failed experiment, his fight for survival in the aftermath would shape the course of the disaster. His efforts would be noticed by the surviving science team, who recruited him to travel to the border world in the final days of the incident in the hopes of ending it. Freeman disappeared for nearly 2 decades following his expedition to Zen. but stories of what he did became known to everyday people across the world. As a result, he became a symbol of hope when Earth was subjugated by a tyrannical interdimensional empire known as the Combine, even becoming a messianic figure among many. Because of this, his eventual return set into motion an uprising against the empire. LM also wrote a memo to science team member Colette Green on May 11th. The memo informed her that her supervision team was particularly interested in Zen crystal sample GG3883. She had been conducting experiments on the sample that revealed unexpected spectral analysis fluctuations. This resulted in her concluding the crystal was the purest and largest sample they had. It was also the most unstable. The memo informed her that her crystal would replace the original chosen sample, EP0021, in the material analysis experiment that led to the disaster. The rarity of the sample also resulted in the administration office putting pressure on the anomalous materials research team to bypass normal safety and handling protocols. It would later be revealed that the sample was acquired through the G-Man in his role acting as a government official. Black Mesa security officer Barney Calhoun also received a letter May 9th. Elam informed him in the letter about his new Blue Shift assignment. It also gave him scheduled details for his Hazard Course security training. This new shift would occur at the same time as the failed experiment, resulting in him playing a critical role in rescuing some of the few science team members to survive the incident. That included Dr. Rosenberg, who spearheaded the research into teleportation at Black Mesa. Elam is last heard from in these letters, so it's unclear what happened to him during and after the incident. But given that most people employed at the facility didn't survive, it can be assumed he didn't either. But that is not confirmed. Of note, given his position, he would have been working directly under Black Mesa Administrator Dr. Wallace Breen. Breen did survive the incident and would eventually be appointed Administrator of Earth by the Combine. He accomplished this by figuring out a way to communicate with the invaders, which allowed him to negotiate Earth's surrender on behalf of the United Nations. So it is possible that connection allowed LM to survive, maybe even still working for Breen in the background.